Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to do a subscriber gameplay breakdown. We're actually going to take a look at a couple different gameplays, and we're going to spend a majority of the time on how and where to land within Warzone. And I know this is something that we really haven't talked about on the channel. We talk a little bit about mid-game, a lot about end-game, but the landing is pretty important too. There's different strategies going into it depending on what your overall goal is, whether or not you just want to loot up, get some kills, and then maybe play for a win, or maybe going ahead and land at a hot spot and maybe get contested, and then you get practice at landing at that individual area. We're going to talk a little bit about those different strategies as we go through that. If you're interested in having your gameplay broken down, I would definitely go ahead and check the link down in the description where it says something about Twitter, where you can actually link your gameplay like several people have done on this individual post. If you enjoyed this type of content, find it helpful in any way, make sure you do me a favor, hit that like button. Go on today's video is 2,500 likes. If you're brand new, looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, just make sure you subscribe with notifications on. So this is the drop for him, and they're playing squad, so that's always interesting, because sometimes you just kind of got to go with the flow of your team. If you're playing for a strategy to win, you probably land at port, loot up. It'll be most likely uncontested, maybe a little bit of lumber, maybe a little bit of farmland, even prison, because there's a vehicle there, there's a helicopter you can go ahead and rotate in. If you're going to go aggressive, most people go superstore, TV station, even stadium sometimes, not as much now that the kind of interest has died down. Quarry's a little bit weird. Military, dam is kind of empty. And then we got storage town. So you got a lot of different options on where you can go. Boneyard's one of my favorite places to land. Train station, I thought it'd be more impacted, but it's really not. And then I'm just not a fan of promenade. There's too many buildings, too many roofs, too many angles. You kind of put yourself in a bad situation. Let's go ahead and see where they land and kind of talk through those particular options. So it looks like they're going for super, which normally in quads, you ideally want to kind of land together, because landing together increases the likelihood of you actually making it out of those engagements. A lot of times what you'll see people do is they kind of land at different spots. Somebody goes down, you can't even challenge those people to stop them from thirsting your teammate. What you'll notice most of the time is if you're with your teammates and they're at least firing, couple different things are going to happen. They're still going to thirst you, so you get wiped out, you go to the gulag, but your teammates are going to win that gunfight because that guy's focused on you. The other thing is that guy turns his attention on your teammates win that gunfight, and then now you're in a position where you don't have to go to the gulag. They can actually revive you, and if the enemy you win against, if you downed a couple or maybe they're split, you're likely going to be able to come out of that, because the goal is to come out of that alive, because you want to save that gulag for a little bit later on, or not have to go to the gulag and then get wiped immediately, because if you do that, then basically you're in a situation where you're going to cost an extra $4,000 to your team when the goal is to loot up and get a loadout. Luckily with Superstore, there's a lot of loot, but with the game currently, you have to get like a lot of plates, so it's kind of annoying because there's not a lot of plates just laying around. So they all kind of landed. One guy went to the back, one's kind of more on the front, and then another one landed with him. It looks like he's on the same floor.
Bison's back in town.
So they're looting up,
back in town.
and it looks like it's mostly uncontested. I'm surprised. Luckily, he found a heartbeat sensor on the floor. That's probably like one of the best grabs you can get. There it is. There's two at the front. He marked it for his team. Good communication.
Oh my god.
Don't tell me they're on the roof.
And this is not common. You go to Superstore, sometimes it's really packed. Sometimes it's like nobody here, like we're seeing here. And it looks like those other people are at the front. So the team's got to kind of know where these guys are and take them out, because it only looked like there was two people, so they have the numbers advantage as long as they're able to push and hear where they're at. There's three people. They're literally touching each other. They're probably either on the top or the bottom, maybe in that little room. Good little aim there. He downed one. The teammate's got to close the distance. He's probably going to go ahead and try and res him if the guy crawls over. He popped the dead silence, which is a good move. He needs plates. Unfortunately, like I said, they're not laying around. He tried. Good nade. Almost was able to land it. Teammates are closing in. They have the advantage here hard, though, so they should be good. There should be one guy, I believe, floating around somewhere. There it is, 11 meters. He's probably up top. He was in the room. So cool. Coordinated, that worked out. They're good to go. They did grab a contract. Normally when you are in a team, the key is to get contracts. That's probably the fastest way you can get money, especially into high team game modes, because this little money right here, 2,000, just for doing the one contract, you're going to get 8,000. 4 players all alive. That's the key. If anyone was dead, then in addition to having the cost of 4,000 to buy back, you're going to cost an additional 2,000 that we lose out on the particular contract, because it only awards money for the people that are alive. They got plenty of money though. They're sitting on about 15,000 there, maybe 20. And then once this it's collected, they got to go up the roof, and then they're pretty much good to go. And let's see how the thing works together. It actually pulled all the way over here, and this is kind of a downside with the scabs, is they kind of force you to go to a specific location, because you can't predict where the third one's going to go always, because they kind of have multiple areas that they go. So it's a little interesting. So he's got to grab that scab, and then they got to get to a buy station. And now they've kind of pushed out. It might have been worth it to maybe go to gas if they had a buy station there. It doesn't look like it, obviously, if it was marked. And then now they just got to go. The key we're going to look up is to getting the loadout, because that's always the first phase. Get a loadout, because they are significantly better than floor loot guns that are completely randomized and are often not very good to use, with the exception of the Origin in Season 5. That was pretty broke. The floor foul in Season 4. Seems like every season there's a broken gun. R9 in this season, just broken.
Someone pinged the actual box. Not my box.
It's actually a lot of my... I think these are all my mods, huh?
Just never called out.
The names all look familiar.
I'll be honest, I have no idea.
There it is. So, they got loadout cleared. Somebody got to buy a UAV.
I did a good thing, guys.
So you at least know the area is clear. Since people are going to hear it. Looks like there was a loadout over at storage.
I didn't buy any.
So that worked out well. Everyone came out alive. Everyone has money. They should be trying to get self-revives, plates, all that type of stuff stacked up. It looks like the center is mostly clear, so that is very odd. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one. I might focus on another breakdown in the future on this type of gameplay, but more looking at the late game. So that was the landing. It's pretty smooth. You loot up. They didn't have a lot of engagements. It was good communication on the drop. 2 of them landed together, and 2 of them kind of split off just a little bit. And that was pretty much how that went, because we want to focus on getting as good landing as possible and figuring out what kind of play style that leads to. Because sometimes people think you need to land hot to get high kills. That's not usually necessary. And if you don't have a ton of time to play, you usually want the most consistent landings possible. Here's another quad gameplay. Let's see where they decide to land. It's going to pop up the map so we can see the flight path.
Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
They're going super too. So this one's kind of a crappy flight path in my opinion, because so much is in the zone. It kind of makes it so that like there's not really as much of a safe landing. Obviously you can go prison. That's the only one outside the zone. That's a little bit of a stretch. You can go to port. That's a little bit on the edge, but nobody has to really like push anywhere. You could do a late drop and do boneyard if you want to get a little bit more aggressive. Superstore is probably good, but since it's so late in the drop, maybe people won't land there, and maybe, maybe TV station be more crowded. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's go ahead and see what they do. All right, so we skipped a little bit ahead. And if you're watching this and you see something that maybe they can improve on, feel free to leave a timestamp with a comment down there in the comment section and give them a little bit of feedback. Obviously, the whole point of this is so that players improve. Whether or not they're doing something good or maybe something they can improve on, the information is going to help. This looks way hotter, but you can see they kind of landed together. Those 2 guys team shot the other guy. They kind of jumped him there. Yep, so they worked together to team shoot, and they all landed on the same tide. So that's the consistency that you're seeing. Everyone has different strategies. Some is back windows, some is the front window, some is the doors, some of the side doors. You can see these guys are over here. He does have an Origin. He's got to push up. There's an AUG and an Uzi. He went with the AUG, and then he's over here. They're going to probably hear him. There's 2. There's 1 up top, and it sounded like 1 down low. There he is. There's another one in the corner. They don't have guns. Oh, good little wipe. There's still another one there. You can hear him on the left side. He's not calling it out though. Whoa. Little bunny hop out there. They are kind of split. One ended up dying. There's still another one crawling around. Is he on the left side? I feel like I hear him. There he is. Whoa, he got beamed. Teammate's gonna save him. Yeah, so see, this is a... I don't think there was enough urgency telling your teammates that there's somebody on you, because look at when we find out that somebody's on him, right? Let's go ahead and watch this out. He's gonna come out, bunny hop, kill this dude. That guy actually landed a couple shots. Listen for it. He's not calling out anything. And the teammates didn't look like they were really urgently going over there. At least maybe there wasn't enough communication, but they were taking their time to get over there when he doesn't really know where this guy is, which is a little bit unfortunate.
He's one shot.
He was on the roof. He must have gone across. Weird. I don't know how he survived that. He got lucky. His teammates are able to get him back. Let's see how long it takes. They have enough money for a loadout.
Yeah, he's good.
So he lands. There's no buy here. Sometimes you got to worry about that on landing. They have to cross the street to the gas station. Also, with this particular location, if you have this, you could actually be inside the building he was just in. Right here, if you throw it right here, you can reach it when it lands on top of the roof from the second floor. The reason why I recommend that is just because it's safer. I know it takes just a half second longer to go into the building, but it allows you to, you know, be protected, less likely to get sniped, be rolled up on, because you have to, you know, if you close the doors, everyone's in here, they can grab the loadout safely from the second story while it's on the roof. So that's always a little extra thing there. They got their UAVs, and then now they're going to chase. So this is okay. This is a standard chasing kills type of, you know, method. This guy landing on you.
Did you finish that? Finish that, Gil.
You got him with the Bruin. He downed him. That guy doesn't have a self-revive. He comes out, gets this other guy. Missing a lot of shots, but took him out. You got to remember to go back and loot that body. Because the other guy... Oh, no, he doesn't really need to loot it. There's no money on that guy. And that's pretty much it. So, it's coming from Quarry. Typically in solos, you kind of got to figure out where you want to land. Superstore is kind of chalked. Like, there's a lot of people that go there, but likely you're going to get third party. That's just the name of the game when you play Super, because of how it's positioned. In this particular setup, I would probably try and land for an unnamed location if it was me in solos, because then I can loot up, at least get a gun, and then maybe choose one of these areas that's a little bit more contested. So maybe landing over here, maybe stretching to port, farmland, somewhere. There's different locations you can land. Let's see what they end up doing. If you try to land on a contract, though, it is very risky. Only because it's a good way to get money, so most of the lobby does it. Obviously, there's a lot of them to go after, but unfortunately, if you're so tunnel visioned on that, you end up grabbing the contract, but then somebody shoots you with the gun they found on the floor. Let's see how this goes. They have their music on too, which is interesting. I don't normally have my music on for anything. I had it on during the Cold War beta, primarily just because so you can get the vibe of it, but generally from a gaming standpoint, you really don't want the music on because it's almost turns on at the worst possible times. Let's see if it's contested at all. He got a plate. I don't know where he got that. Dude's lucky. Okay, close the door. No one's gonna land on it. He grabs that. Let's see. So it worked out. It was uncontested, a little bit outside of the way, and that's what you can't really know. It was kind of a no-named location, which is less likely to get traffic. Places random claymore, so he doesn't really have good guns right now. The Uzi's good for close quarters. Close the door, continue looting. He has a, what is that, a kilo on the floor? Yep, a good kilo. That's better than the SKS in my opinion. Even though it's only 30 bullets, you're in 1v1s most of this match. That's what's cool about solos over all the other modes, is because of the ammo capacity is really the biggest drawback on a lot of the weapons. Solos, a lot more weapons are actually viable just because, you know, you don't have to run into, you know, ammo issues. The Kilo I would have picked up over the SKS that he had, and definitely over the SA87 that he has here. It's just less recoil, easier to manage. This one does have 50 bullets, so there is that trade-off. And it's high damage, just a little bit more recoil than most people are accustomed to using. But it's a little bit more decked out. It has an optic, underbarrel. This area is completely quiet, and that's typically what you want to try and find. Not for the highest kills, but for the most consistency of matches. If you land at super, let's say 10 times, and you're a good player, you'll probably make it out of there with your whole team surviving. Maybe 4 times. At least somebody's gonna die. The other 6%, you know, 60%. Probably even higher than that. That most people don't make it out of there. Imagine if you can make that jump. So he's back in his building. It's up top. I would grab the stuns. They don't automatically pick up. So he just left the stun there. So that's an issue with looting. Especially, not as much in controller lobbies, but when you go against somebody on controller, if you stun them, it kind of tracks. It's kind of broken. Stuns need to disable aim assist while you're stunned. At least my opinion, it's not balanced. Because the whole purpose of the stun is basically for you to be in a position where you're going to win the gunfight. And you can't tell your opponent whether or not they're on keyboard and mouse or on controller. So it gives the competitive advantage to the person being stunned, because they know that, hey, you know what, I can just track this dude, I'm good. Versus you could jump. Oh, he needs to plate up. Good job. I would have played it knowing that guy, you had your claymore there, that the guy was going to be coming in. You're in a pretty good spot. You got to grab the armor box. I hate that thing. It's so annoying that it does, when they overlap, it doesn't allow you to pick up. So he's okay. He's got a holger. He's doing good. He's sitting on 10 grand, so he's in a very good spot. Ideally, when you're in solos, what you're really looking for is maybe like 14 grand. So you could buy your loadout comfortably, and then maybe buy a UAV or a self-revive. Again, that goes back to strategy. Are you just trying to chase kills? Are you trying to get, you know, a loadout? I heard a loadout. Is it on the other side of this building? Yep, you can hear them fighting. Ooh, got a growl. That growl's pretty good. Making a lot of noise. The guy's up top, maybe? Yeah, I wouldn't have slammed the door open. You got an ADS when you do that, so it doesn't make the door slam open. And, oh, he shouldn't have won that gunfight. He has a health, 1 bullet. He shouldn't have won that gunfight. He should have 100% lost. That guy already had his loadout, it looked like. He had a ghost class. I would pick up the guy's loadout. He has a RPG and then the other gun, but he didn't pick up the gun. Should 100% pick up that dude's gun because it's a fully decked out class setup. And then it would give you a better idea on what you need for your loadout, whether or not you're going to do a ghost. Oh, there's the guy coming in. See, smart move. See, he did. Oh, it bounced. It bounced. It's going to land on the outside. That was weird. I thought he threw it in. At least that was the right move there. He's got an AMAX. Pretty solid. Now he's got to get this guy coming across the way. And it's going to be hard because the guy's already going to push underneath him.
UAV is out of fuel.
Nice move. So this is an overkill class. So, with this one, the benefit, if he would have looted the guy's body, if the guy had a really stacked growl, then maybe you have a ghost class on standby for your MP5, and then basically you just pick up the MP5 ghost, and then you don't have to worry about the free loadout. Or you can get restock, or maybe you just want your loadout, whatever. But it's at least worth looking at that gun, especially since that guy had a loadout, like built gun that cost that dude 10,000. Also, when the guy comes back, if he wins his gulag, he's going to go directly there. Now he's going to have his own loadout gun, which is unfortunate.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Bounty contract identified.
So pretty solid there. I think we covered a good couple little tips in there. I think always the middle section of the game and the end are probably the most important. Landing's cool, but the key component that you're really trying to accomplish is get your loadout as fast as possible and as consistent as possible. Because if you can get that, then you can start actually getting to the middle of the game and the end of the game. If you land, you die. Go to Gulag, you die. Teammates got to buy you back. It's the whole game is spent trying to buy you back, which is unfortunate, but it is part of the game. If you're just struggling to actually get started, try and land somewhere more consistently and load up and get safe and get the loadout. That should be the goal. Load out with a UAV or a self-revive of some kind. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, learn something new. If you're brand new, looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Also, a reminder, my Gfuel code is still 30% off. Today is the last day, the 18th. I'm not sure when we'll get the code boost again, but if you're interested in restocking or trying it out for the first time, there's plenty of sample options available. Appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.